All right, welcome back to another episode. So I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And yeah, it's Monday the 9th, I believe, of February. And Bitcoin right now is retesting our 200 EMA ribbon. So over the weekend, we did have a bit of a bounce. I mean, this is the weekly candle. Let's just look at the daily. And yeah, we did shoot back up. But does that mean we're going to have a reversal? Are we now going to bounce off it, or are we going to go lower? We'll jump into that in just a second. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell notification so that you can be notified with each and every video where we look at mainly Bitcoin, but also the rest of the altcoin space as well. So we'll jump into Solana, into Ethereum in just a second as well, and the Fear and Greed Index, and all that as well. So yeah, but leave any comments as well. That would be fantastic for the algorithm. So right now, as you see, for the day, for the week, the month, the year, so far, it's been absolutely awful. Should we give up with crypto? Many people are just jumping out of it. A lot of people are actually shorting the market, getting some crazy trades in there by shorting, which you can make money even in a bear market by shorting it, like a lot of people have been doing. Whereas I just prefer to dollar cost average as the prices go down. It's very risky to trade. Again, everything I say is not financial advice as well. So it has been pretty epic over the past few weeks in terms of Bitcoin and everything going down, and a lot of people are currently in extreme fear. I mean, I don't think we have been this fearful since, I believe, our last market crash of all the way back here in these periods, back in 2022, when the market absolutely capitulated below the 200, and maybe we did go down to like 7-8%. You'll have to correct me on that. Let me know in the comments section below if we did go lower than 9% with the extreme fear. But what does that mean? Well, as Bitcoin, for me personally, as Bitcoin is staying around the 200 EMA, there is a high possibility we go below it. But generally speaking, we don't go too far below. We'll look at that in just a second. But what I'm trying to say is we've got now an accumulation phase where we can get as much Bitcoin as possible. The altcoins, it's really risky if you want to jump into them. I'm going to try this time around. Not to have too much exposure with the altcoins, because you just get absolutely wrecked. Thankfully, this last cycle basically just broke even. The cycle before that made a bit of profit, which was good. This past cycle, the mistake was not having way too many altcoins and not enough Bitcoin. So moving forward, more Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum as well. I'm looking at Solana, but I'm waiting for Solana to hit lower prices. I do believe we're going to go, I think we dipped down to $60, but I think we're going to go much lower than that. We probably could see a $40, $35 Solana. So I'll be looking at Solana at those prices. Ethereum probably go down to 1,500, between 1,000 to 1,500. We'll look at the technicals in just a second with that, but let's just focus on Bitcoin for now and look at what happened with the 200 EMA when we broke it last time. So we did actually, I think it was about 25-30%. When we broke below it, we went as low as 15k. It was, wow, okay, it says 40%. I was completely wrong. So yeah, around 40% where we did drop below the 200 EMA. So what could that mean for us here? Am I saying we're going to drop 40% from here? No, but what usually happens is around over a period of a year, if we just zoom back out again, I'll show you on here. There we go. If I just go back. When we drop below it, okay, this was a 40%, but we usually stay close to the 200 EMA. We did stay for about, I think this was a 6-month period, when we went above the 200 from March 2023 all the way to October. We had a 6-month period where we just stayed around the 200 EMA, and then October middle of October, end of October, we shot up, and that's when we started going towards our into our bull market, basically, of the last few years. But when we broke below the 200 EMA, it was roughly, so that's June 2022 all the way up to October. That's about 18 months of just sideways action. So could we see something similar where we have a year to 18 months? It's highly likely. If we do drop 40% below this EMA ribbon, then we're looking at a $40,000 Bitcoin. Personally, if it goes to $40,000, fantastic, because we can buy Bitcoin even cheaper. So yeah, we had bounces over the weekend, people getting optimistic again. But guys, I'm sorry to tell you, we are going probably staying around this range or going lower. Now, one thing for sure, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, we're probably going to fill up this candle wick here, this weekly candle wick. I'm going to fill this bottom up all the way down at $60,000. So that would be a beautiful trade, especially if we break below the 200 EMA. It's about 13.5% trade there. Let's say 13%. If we enter that trade below, if you want, I'm not going to do it, but if you want to do it, you could enter that trade below the 200 EMA ribbon, and you've got a nice. Let's check the short position. You could go from. Wait there. Let me get rid of this. This is a nice, yeah, we want to put, it's a nice risk to reward ratio, 11-1. So a nice 12% there if you want to enter that trade. But most likely now, we're going to fill up this candle wick and come all the way back down to our $60,000 range for Bitcoin, which over the past few weeks, we've been talking about this area of huge level of key support here between 50 to 70,000, and yeah, I mean, we did break all the way through it, almost all the way down to so we went halfway through this support to 60k. So I expect us to come all the way down, trickle all the way down to 60,000. So this area here is fantastic buying opportunity for Bitcoin. The altcoins, I mean, there's no point. When Bitcoin is going down, there is literally no point, unless you're DCA and you don't care. Depends how long your time frame is. If your time frame is the next 10 years, then yeah, you just keep buying whatever you're buying. Just keep doing what you're doing. Dollar cost averaging is probably one of the best, most boring ways, but one of the best ways for profits in the long-term future. But yeah, coming down to these levels, altcoins are going to bleed out even more. And then we'll probably just go sideways for the next 6 months. So I do expect us to, 40,000 seems a bit too much. I mean, it's the next levels down here. I just don't see us going all the way down to 40,000. When we brought the, what was it, the Fibonacci retracement, brought this out a lot on my channel the last few weeks. The 0.618, the golden pocket, is all the way down here at 57. We almost hit it perfectly. It would be interesting if we do come down. I'm watching this. I don't think we'll go lower than 57k, but what's interesting is the 0.786 level is all the way down here at $40,000. So that would be basically a carbon copy of that 40% move last time in 2022 of June, all the way down to January 2023, that 40% drop. Could we see something similar where if we do experience a 40% drop below the 200 EMA, then it would take us down to $40,000. So that's quite interesting to see. But I personally think we would just come down to these levels here around 56, 57k, and this will be the key support. So if we do drop all the way below down to those levels, then we're looking at something like a drop of 55%, which is huge, because if we take into consideration how much we dropped from the peak of the last bull run, but then we did drop 77%. I mean, that's mental. So could we drop the same amount? I don't think so. I mean, anything's possible. We could, like I keep saying, come down to anything. I don't like giving price targets, but yeah, when we look at the past history, anything, usually history rhymes. Could we go down 75%, 77%? It is possible. Anything is possible. I know some of my friends are waiting for like a 30k Bitcoin again. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, great for getting in at even lower prices before we go back. Next cycle, we could go anywhere. Some are predicting 500,000, 1 million, or whatever. Eventually, Bitcoin will hit 1 million, but that's probably in the far future, past 2030. But right now, basically, we want to be accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible, and to be very, very careful of the altcoins, especially meme coins and layer 2 crypto now, with Vitalik coming out about layer 2s. Ethereum, we looked at Ethereum last time. Maybe we can look at Ethereum tomorrow, but I do expect Ethereum to go even lower, maybe drop another 45, 50% of the current price, and Solana as well, going down to about $40. So it's all good, even though there's an extreme fear. If we keep going down, we just keep buying more Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, as I keep saying, because the altcoins will probably tank even lower. But then it gives us amazing opportunities to jump into those. For me, into Ethereum, $1,000, $40 Solana is an absolute bargain, absolute steal, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it. So just stay safe out there. Right now, it's probably best not to jump into altcoins, but it all depends on your strategy, of course. Bitcoin is probably the safest option at this moment, even though we could go even lower. But looking over the past, since I've been in crypto, as we go through the bear market, the best thing to do is just stay with Bitcoin, but of course not financial advice. So let me know in the comments section below where you think Bitcoin is heading to this year. If you think things are going to get worse, or if you think we're going to get a speedy recovery going into the spring. So stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.